Connected in 3D, Real-Time Solutions and Digital Twins podcast with your host, Ashley Crowder.
So thanks so much for joining us. We're here with Angela Muller from YKK and Aaron, our head of 3D at VNTANA. And we're going to talk through how companies like YKK are using 3D to replace physical samples and improve the B2B selling process. So we're going to start with YKK, and then we're going to move on, and Aaron's going to show just some of the new features on the platform and how you can create a branded showroom pretty quickly with some clicks. And then we also announced our Canva integration yesterday, which people seem pretty excited about. It's just another great presentation tool that you can now add your 3D designs to. So we'll kind of go through a few different ways to do it. But I'll turn it over to Angela to introduce yourself, but thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, my name is Angela, and yeah, I'm from YKK. I've been with YKK probably about over 10 years. Who counts? But yeah, I started in Europe, now in North America. I have a background in marketing, communication, and sales. And in the recent years, I basically moved into the digital side of process and new innovations with YKK. As we all know, in the last years, we had to change a lot about work and how we work. And that's the same for YKK. And YKK is moving along with our customers. And there's a lot to come for the future, and this will be super exciting.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, we'll start. We've got a quick video just showing like how this 3D trim configurator works, and we'll show a demo, and then we'll kind of get into some more questions. But very cool. And then if anybody wants to go test it out, you can actually go to ykkdigitalshowroom.com, click the trim configurator, and this is where you can kind of go in and actually get the 3D configurator to design the zipper, so you can play around with it. But with that, I wanted to kind of get into kind of why you guys even went about creating this. So, Angela, what were some of the issues your sales team faced with Wholesale?
I think there's basically two things. First of all, a simpler one is like having an image of whatever you create. So our customers would have a code in their system or a description, but they don't know how the zipper look like. So we get them the question, hey, can you shoot me a picture, something like that? Or on the other hand, they might have a picture, but then they say, okay, I have this in green, but I'd like to have this in yellow, whatever, finish and antique silver, and they like to have it in gold. Yeah, in the past, basically, it would mean for us, we need to go into production, produce this item, and then take a picture of it and send it. You can imagine that takes a lot of time. So having this now instantly in this YKK Trim Creator tool makes it much faster. The second point is, as I mentioned before, we all changed how we work. That means also the design process, how it used to be, is different. We do now 3D creation. Garments were created in 3D, not on paper anymore. So this is a new version. And then for that one, you also need, of course, all the parts for your garment in 3D. That also means you need the zipper in 3D, because what would be a jacket without a front zipper?
Yeah, for sure. And I know you guys import those into Clo and Browseware for people. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, which is great. And I believe you guys this kind of all kicked off because you did a survey with your customers, I think, and the, some of the what were some of the complaints, I guess, of the old process that they had, or kind of what was that survey that kind of the result of that survey that initiated all of this project.
I think most of it is probably related to have your description on the code and the image to it. So basically, when you talk with your design and when you talk to production, that you have an item code for it. Because with this new tool, as it's shown on the right corner, there was basically in the end, when you created everything, you have your color, your slider, and what so far your functions. It also tells you then, hey, this is my item code, and you can implement that directly in your BOM, the bill of material, and streamline your production process. And that makes it much easier. So for us, the questions also we got was basically, hey, how does this basically my item I created here, what's the code for it? How can I use it and go into production, make it easy for myself?
Definitely. Yeah. So giving people just the item code to actually place that order. Cause I know they were like, after they made all the choices, they're like, okay, well, how do I pay for this? That's like, if they don't know how to order, that's a problem. But yeah, so this was cool because you guys integrated with your, I believe your PLM or database system to automatically pull those orders to make it easy for people to place, which is great. And so now that this is live, like what are some of the metrics you're measuring to determine success? Because I know that comes up a lot with clients of like, okay, well, we launched 3D, we think it's helping, but how do we quantify this, especially for leadership?
Yeah, I think that's from the marketing side always the difficult point. How do you quantify your marketing process? I would say for us, it's definitely customer satisfaction, because if you have this tool now, they can instantly work on it. It's easy. They have a code. They can talk to their design team internally and have an easy communication. And then also, like you said, move it on to the production. There's no back and forth discussion. It's really easy, quick solution to do that. And then the customer is happy with us and said, hey, it's easy to work with you. I mean, that's the best answer we can get from our customer, that YKK is easy to work with. So it's not a numerical in per se thing, how you can measure that, which is usually happening with marketing. But yeah, if the customer is happy, we're happy, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I know this was kind of phase one of the project. How do you guys plan to kind of scale 3D more over the next, couple years?
I think for the first step, we think there is already 1,000 items or variation on that tool. But for us, it's mainly standard items, so coil, Vislon, metal zippers in the standard slider, puller variations. But YKK is not standard. We have a lot of more to offer. So I think that will be definitely going forward. The thing is that we have more variety. I guess we make designers with that one a lot of happy. And then another aspect would be maybe create some personal private space to even go into ideas of having your own logo, because all we know, like a brand likes to have their own logo on the little puller and YKK maybe. But for that, we would need to have a private space that they can talk privately about their logos, their ideas, innovations to us, and have then from our side comments or R&D comments to see what is possible and how we can move forward to get a branded item for that.
Very cool. Yeah, and I know so kind of the way this works with VNTANA is they're using our JS component. So pulling, VNTANA is totally headless. You can kind of like take the pieces you need and build your own tools like this. And so being able to implement our, annotation functionality will be great for sure. So people can collaborate in real time on the web.
Yeah.
And then, oh, sorry.
Sorry, I just meant, yeah, that helps to be talking instantly and have a comment instantly, because that's a big thing to nowadays, right? To be fast and quick.
Definitely. And one question we have from attendees, if you create the zipper, is it available to download to use in 3D?
At the moment, not the whole zipper we were thinking about, but because Browseware and Clode do not support like implementation of full 3D asset as a zipper, not sliders are possible for the tool at the moment. Not you can have an image, but we are happy to share that separately because we're still also working with Browseware Clode how we can do that parts of it integrated, or maybe in the future the full zipper.
Yeah, that would be huge. And so attendees here also push on Chloe and Browseware to integrate. It's really such a joint effort between so many different companies to get 3D at scale. That's great. And then kind of my last question is, what would you recommend to brands who want to get started using 3D for wholesale? What are some like lessons learned on your side, or how would you recommend people to get started?
I think my biggest point is like to say, don't let the fear of change hinder your aspiration. It is really not easy to move into digital space because it's something new, but just try out new things, try out and see what works for you, what is available. Like let's say for our tool, if you do not design your garments in 3D, it doesn't matter. You can still use the tool, you can still create your code and streamline that for your production. If you go then on and have 3D design, you can go and do that and implement that for yourself and go with this. I think we're all on the start of this digital transformation, and there's so much more to come. So it's important to start and then move forward.
Awesome. Well, Angela, thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to Erin now. That's going to get into just more details of how you all can get started.
Okay, thanks, Ashley. Let's go ahead and take a look at how you can create your own branded showroom, which is a similar experience to what was implemented with YKK. But this can be created on your own within VNTANA platform. So in showrooms in VNTANA platform, you had the ability to make a showroom, which is a 3D line sheet. And we recently implemented a whole bunch of changes that have, again, allow you to make this a more branded experience. So I'm just going to walk through some of the steps to quickly create this showroom. And we'll start by giving the showroom a name. We'll say webinar showroom, because that is super original. You have the ability to toggle the display the showroom name. Sometimes you may not want that there because you can upload a logo image, and that might be good enough to name the showroom. We also have the ability to add tags now. So this is really great for keeping your showroom organized. And these tags are separate from the product tags. But once you create a showroom tag, if you start typing in the name of a tag and it already exists, that tag will populate and you can select it. And that is the same functionality of our product tags. So we can specify the season, that this is a global assortment, and maybe this is also in Europe as well. We have the ability to add attributes to our products, and within the showroom, you can specify which attributes you would like to display. So that's really nice because some folks like to add attributes that don't necessarily need to be visible to the partner you are sharing the showroom with, your buyer, for instance. Okay, so those are the details of the showroom. And now you have the ability to style this showroom space. So we will go ahead and specify the amount of products that are available per row. Previously, we didn't have this capability, so this is nice, especially with our new grouping capability that I'll show you. You have the ability to add a color as well for your text and dividers. And I have a hex code here that I'm going to type in. And I'm just going to quickly add that to our divider color. I'll show you what the dividers look like in a moment. The other styling options that we have are the ability to change the font. And we have a list of fonts here, and these are fonts that are available within Google. Right now, we don't have the ability to upload your own, but that's already feedback we are considering. You also have the option to add in a background color or a background image. So I'll go ahead and select an image. And you have some tiling or fill options for your image as well. And I'll go ahead and set this to tile because I'm pretty sure this image will not be big enough to fit the entire showroom space. So we have these styling options. And once you start adding products to showrooms, you'll be able to curate it a little more. So let's get some products in there. And I'm going to select a folder to pull products from. And I'm just going to start picking a selection of assets to add to this showroom. And I like to, now that we have the grouping capability, I like to think about the groups that I'm going to create and add those products first that go into group one. You don't have to do it this way. You could, if you need to add all the products for this from this folder, you can press the select all button, or you can do it the way that I'm doing it right now. One at a time. Okay, that is enough for this group. So I'm just going to press the select all option and then group them together with our new group button at the top. And you have the ability to add a group name as well. And then right next to the name, this is where you can define where a divider will be added. And this is really nice to separate all the groups that you'll make within your showroom. So let me add just a few more products and then we'll check it out. You don't have to group everything. You could group everything if you wanted to. Within a group, you can go ahead and rearrange items by clicking and dragging on the dots. You could also click and drag the entire group into a different position. You can, of course, as you see here, we have the eyeball, so you can hide a product, or you can totally delete the product from the showroom. Okay, let me just group these because I want to give this a name. And I will bump this to the bottom. Okay, great. So now you have the ability to preview, but I like to just go ahead and commit and create that showroom because I want to see all the attributes that I've added under the products. I want to see this exact preview here, which is going to be a pretty similar preview to this new concept that we've created, which is you can share a showroom with share links. So this is creating a private space, and you'll be able to add specific individuals to this private link so they can view the showroom, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. But here on this page, you see exactly what the showroom will look like. If you need to go ahead and edit this arrangement, you can go back to the edit showroom button and move stuff around as needed, and then go ahead and save. And if you find that maybe one of your product's viewers is for some reason has a different background or something, you can go ahead and press the edit product button to go directly to that product page and make those viewer adjustments as needed. And then you can come back to this showroom and continue editing or creating a share link. Okay, Cool. So let's add a share link. Again, this is a private space that you're creating for you and your buyer or whoever you need to share this with. Let's call this a webinar buyer. You could go ahead and add a logo image for this share link as well. And this just really helps you stay organized. This logo will not be visible in the shared space. You can also add an expiration date, which is really nice because you won't have to worry about deactivating users or deactivating the showroom when it needs to be deactivated. Okay, once you've created a share link, toggle to your share link tab. And here you see all the details about this share link. You can preview that private showroom, and you can see all the products and their order counts within this specific buyer's showroom. Okay, so we will need to add a user, and you do that by pressing the add user button within the user section, and you just give them a name, add in their email, and you will specify the showroom user role. So we have two options now. You have a viewer and an editor option. A viewer, that user can just view and comment against the products. An editor can view and comment against the products, but they're the ones who can input in an order count. Okay, and if you want to add an additional user before leaving this little pop-up window, you can press the add user button here. But we will add myself for now. All right. I'm most certain I'm already added to a showroom. So let me go ahead and log in.
So yeah, as she's doing that, so hopefully this is helpful to kind of walk through just like the new features. This is more out of the box, easy to use versus the awesome YKK trim configurator, which is a more custom implementation of VNTANA's JS component. Everything's possible. It depends on how you want to do it. With this, we got feedback. People wanted to be able to have general order counts. So people, we've got clients using this to get general ideas before they even start production. So they're sending this to buyers to understand kind of a general order count as they start to plan their inventory, which has really helped them improve better accuracy in planning, reduce waste, and really increase speed to market, which has been amazing to see.
Okay, cool. So I just quickly demonstrated how to add those quick order counts and commenting. And if you have been invited as a showroom editor, if you've been invited to multiple showrooms, you'll see a drop-down tab here to toggle through all of your showrooms.
We're looking at the edit showroom, manage showroom on the platform.
All right, let me just add an order count, and commenting is pretty simple, pretty intuitive. Okay.
Yeah, so your buyer would see this showroom and have the ability to enter in the general order count, the commenting, and then back on the VNTANA platform, you can download a CSV file from all your different buyers to understand what the orders are.
Yep,
yeah.
And your CSV button is right up here. This will be updated as your users enter in that information. And if you want to see the comments, you can press the view button and you'll be able to see all the comments against the products in this view. Cool. That's it for showrooms.
Great. Thanks so much. And then the other option, this is kind of more like a 3D line sheet. We just announced our integration with Canva yesterday that people have been really excited about. So, Canva obviously is an amazing tool where you can create beautiful presentations. And now if you have 3D assets on VNTANA, you can easily add them to Canva presentations. So I'll quickly show that option as well. So I will share my screen. But yeah, I'll pop over here. Erin, if you can just send me a share link, that'd be great. But if you've never used Canva before, you can create all types of presentations. And it's really nice because they've got, preset designs for you to choose from. And so you can start with any design that you want. And then for VNTANA, you'll click the app and just type in VNTANA to search. And then you just need to add a share link. So let me see share link here. And that is how you embed 3D. And you can move it around, you can resize it. But yeah, then you've got an actual 3D model in your presentation, and the AR is built in as well. So this is just another option if you're wanting to do, more custom and add different 2D images and kind of create a different type of showroom presentation. So lots of options. I hope that was helpful. Thanks, Angela, so much for joining. Really exciting everything YKK is doing to make wholesale and design easier. And I hope everyone has a good rest of their day.
Thanks. Same for me. Thanks for speaking here. I saw your new tool and your new features. It looks awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
everyone have a good one. Bye.